Hello friends, how you doing? I got bored today, and this is a game I didn't really know very well. I just knew of the game, not really um, much of the analysis of the game. But it's the game of the century, of the 20th century. So this game was played in 1956 between a 13-year-old Bobby Fischer and a quite older grandmaster. He was one of the best players in the United States, Donald Byrne. And so Donald Burns, or excuse me, Burns, he was the leading chess player in the United States. He won the U.S. Open in 1955. In 1956, he was expected to go to Moscow to play the World Chess Championship. He was very good. Bobby Fischer was, he was a 13-year-old kid, and they ended up playing this tournament. They got matched up at the Marshall Chess Club, 1956. Bobby Fischer this was the game that put him on notice with the world. Bobby grew up, he didn't have a father figure around, and his mom worked a lot, so he stayed at home a lot, and he learned how to play chess. Nobody knows if anyone taught him how to play. The rumor is he just kind of learned on his own, picked up a book, learned some moves. Well, his mom would come home and see him just obsessed with this game. This board game, and Bobby Fischer picked up a magazine or looked at the newspaper and saw that other people played at the Marshall Chess Club. So this Brooklyn kid, 13 years old, it wasn't his first time playing a Marshall tournament, but it was his first time playing against a grandmaster. And so after this game was played, for years it was written about how it was the game of the century. And so this, this grandmaster got matched up with Bobby Fischer, and Bobby Fischer, he took him to task. And we'll look at the game, kind of see. I don't know a bunch of the analysis on it, but we'll kind of learn it together. So in this game, Bobby Fischer played the black pieces. And Bobby at this time, he wasn't good. He didn't know any openings. He didn't know any defenses. He didn't really know the proper way to play. But what Bobby was very good at was he was very good at taking advantage of his opponent's weaknesses. He didn't know their weaknesses, but he saw their weaknesses. And Bobby never let up. He never got discouraged. If he lost a piece, if he lost four pieces, he always found a way to win. He could always see a way to win. And even if he lost in four moves, he saw a way to win in six. So it's a very interesting game. So let's get into the game and see what Mr. Byrnes did. So Byrnes opens up with the knight f3. So he opens up with a knight f3, which is very, open. He's playing this 13-year-old kid. It was probably the first round of the Marshall Chess Club tournament, and he doesn't want to beat a kid in 9 or 11 moves and demoralize him. So he opens with an f3. Now f3 can translate to the Ruy Lopez, a slow English game, Scottish gambit. You could probably even get away with the Danish gambit playing knight to f3. So this is just kind of gonna see what Bobby Fischer is gonna do. So Bobby, not knowing his openings, he opens up with f6 also, just kind of mirroring what Byrnes does. So then Byrnes opens up with the c4, pawn to c4. So this move right here, it's not a really, let's say it's not a popular opening. So all the openings I'd mentioned just went out the window. So I'm not really sure what Byrnes is doing here either, but I'm not a master either. So Bobby goes with g6, and then we have c3. So we have kind of like a knight's opening. And then we have bishop to g7. So Bobby's kind of expecting, well, I don't know what he's expecting, but he's making really good moves. He's making logical moves. So we keep going, and so we have now the queen's gambit. So now Byrnes has a queen gambit out, and then Bobby castles. So that's what he was looking for. Bobby was looking to castle early, which that was smart. He gets his king out of the middle of the board, out of trouble. And then Byrnes plays bishop to f4, d5 by Fischer, queen to b3. So now the queen on b3 is attacking is on the same line to attack the king. And then we have Bobby takes on c4, queen takes c4, Bobby advances with c6. Then we have e4. So Byrnes really has a good command of the center of the board, which is where you want to be. He's looking really good at this point. Bobby moves knight to d7, and then we have rook to d1, knight to b6, and then on move 10, Byrnes moves to c5. So c5, let's see. So I'm not really sure what he's looking at here. And then so Bobby moves to bishop g4. Then let's look at this right here. So Byrnes moves, let's see, bishop to g5. So that doesn't look like a mainline move because he could just be chased out with the Morphy defense. Okay, so Bobby to a4. Okay, so now he moves his queen back. So Bobby had Byrnes move his queen back. It kind of could look like a blunder with that part or a mistake. Given that Bobby won, it was probably a blunder. So what Bobby had by moving that knight there, he had a fork. He had a fork on his knight or Byrnes' knight and on the queen. All right, so let's move. So all right, so he takes the knight, and then let's see, bishop to, excuse me, knight to. Let's see. Then bishop to e7. So Bobby brings out his queen, and then Byrnes moves his bishop. And then we have, so right here, so Bobby's just taking pieces. He's up on the board now. He's just taking pieces. Moves his bishop out. So now, right here, Bobby's got his rook. He's got the king and a mate. So he's got a mate. And then Byrnes has to move out, so Byrnes can't castle anymore. Moves his bishop up. So his bishop could take here, but also what Bobby was doing was he was on the b6 square. He was giving a queen sacrifice. It's like queen sacrifice. He was letting Byrnes take it. Let's see, and then we've got, let's see. So, he sacrifices his queen. Bobby takes bishop. Knight moves because he had only check. And then he's just chasing the checks right now. So Bobby moves back and forth. You see this move back and forth. So Bobby's just chasing. Bobby's ahead on pieces. And this was what Bobby was most notably for, was just relentlessly not giving up. Just keep playing and playing and playing. Whereas other players, knowing the magnitude of who they were playing and the knowledge that they had of the game, they would just they wouldn't be as aggressive. So it's Bobby's advancing. So queen to b4 by Byrnes. Bobby goes right after that queen. So Byrnes is just moving his queen away. So you saw right here, Bobby's aggressiveness trying to take Byrnes' queen ended up with Bobby taking advantage of the rook. And then right now, it's just a survival game for Byrnes. Bobby's just gobbling up pieces. Bobby's up at least, so he's up 8 points now. He's just chasing the queen. Bobby's trying to keep him safe. And then, so Bobby's just taking advantage of Byrne just having a queen and a knight. And this game goes up to, so let's see, white that moved to h5, excuse me. So the pawn move to h5 gives Bobby some gives him some room on that last file. So then knight to e5, Bobby moves out. Byrnes is still just moving that king. And Bobby's still playing. This is a long game too. This game probably could have been over 31, 32 moves if this was Bobby Fischer 10 years later. And then the last move, let's see. So Bobby's just changed. See, and you can see the kind of experience that Bobby has right now. He's got a knight, a rook, and 2 bishops. And look how many moves it's taken Bobby to kind of figure out, how do I mate him? What do I do? And then, it took, let's see, 41 moves. So 41 moves, and look how many key pieces that Bobby's using. And I apologize, I didn't research this game. I didn't know the analysis of this game, so I'm kind of learning this game on the fly too. So looking back, so let's say the last 7 moves, he could have gone here. Let's play. So Byrnes, let's see, so check. Let's see if Byrnes could have, no, you have a choice. So bishop here. Byrnes queen, let's see. Bobby would have been checked, had him check there. So here, well, he's in check. Can't. Yeah, so it looked like that was a good line. He would know better than I would. So this was a fun game. It's kind of interesting that such a young child with not the kind of technology that we have now. He just had a couple books, that he would borrow or somebody would give him, and he'd play an old board by himself at home, and he learned a lot. He's very interested in chess. He was so interested in chess that by the age of 19, he taught himself English and he taught himself Russian so he could learn more tactics. And the reason why he taught himself Italian and he taught himself Italian first was so he could learn the Sicilian defense. The Sicilian defense was the main line popular. And most of the players in the United States didn't play that. They played the Berlin or the French defense, or the Caracan. And so the Sicilians, if you really want to learn the Sicilian, you had to learn Italian, so you could read the Italian books that really went in depth on the Sicilian. But then the Russians were very good at the Sicilian. And in modern day chess, the Russians just ran with the Sicilian. And there were so many deep, they had the accelerated dragon, the hyper Sicilian, all kinds of different Sicilian defenses. And so for Bobby to learn even more of the Sicilian, he had to teach himself Russian. So by the age of 19, he knew Italian and he knew Russian, and he had access to all that knowledge because the grandmasters in Russia from after World War I, 1920, 1921, the Russians just really accelerated in chess. It no longer belonged to the Brits or the French or the Americans. So, and that's definitely something more to talk about is when Bobby came into his prime as early as 19 up until the 1972 chess championship that he won. He never played the Sicilian, but he loved playing against the Russians when they played the Sicilian because he always found their weakness. And his kind of logo he always told people was that he loved embarrassing his opponents, and this was during the Cold War, so he loved embarrassing the Russians because they were most all the time his opponents when he was in his prime. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I kind of learned something tonight. It was fun going through a game that I didn't know. It was a little bit less nervous for me. So hope you guys have a good night, and thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Good night. Happy Labor Day.